Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gusheen Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 50 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. First in from Central Asia, a plane carrying 62 passengers and 5 crew members crashed earlier in Rodi in western Kazakhstan. The aircraft, owned by Azerbaijan Airlines, was en route from capital Baku to Grozny in Russia. The plane crashed while making an emergency landing around 3 kilometers from the city of Atal. Many are feared dead. Continuing with Asia, Pakistani jets struck Pakistan Taliban targets in Afghanistan yesterday. The airstrikes targeted multiple hideouts of the terrorist group. At least 46 people were killed and a training facility was destroyed. 7 villages in Barmal district of Paktika province were attacked. Meanwhile, Taliban has vowed to retaliate the Pakistani attack. Next in from West Asia, Iran has condemned Israel's quote-unquote brazen admission over killing of former Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh on Tuesday. Iran has accused the country of committing a heinous crime. The comments were made by Iran's ambassador to the UN, Amir Saeed Irvani, in a letter addressed to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He has also defended Iran's 200 missile bombardment on Israel in October. Iran has lifted its ban on WhatsApp and Google Pay. The country's Supreme Council of Cyberspace voted to lift the ban on these social media applications. The council is headed by President Masoud Pezeshkian. Iran's communications minister called the move first step towards lifting internet restrictions. Iranian flights to Syria will reportedly remain suspended until January 2022. The head of Iran's civil aviation organization said, quote-unquote, to fly to a country, the destination nation must grant entry and admission permits. The development comes after the ouster of Tehran's ally, former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The new Syrian leader has announced their agreement with other smaller rebel groups over their dissolution and integration into the regular defense forces. The rebels will now be under the supervision of the Syrian Ministry of Defense. Israeli raid killed at least 8 people in the West Bank yesterday. At least 7 people died in Tulkarem refugee camp and 1 in nearby Nur Shams camp, while the military said it had eliminated a terrorist. As per reports, the raid involved bulldozers destroying roads. Houthis launched a hypersonic ballistic missile at a military target in Israeli city of Tel Aviv yesterday. This after the Israeli military said it intercepted a projectile. Houthi spokesperson described it as a successful operation. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has lauded the support of Christians worldwide. Yesterday, he said Christians have stood by Israel as it fights its battle against the evil forces. Netanyahu added that Israel will do anything to defend the one and only Jewish state. Moving towards the war in Europe, Ukraine reported a massive Russian attack on Christmas. Russian strike killed at least 1 person and injured 17 in Dnipropetrovsk city. The Ukrainian Air Force reported that Russian-caliber cruise missiles were launched from the Black Sea. Dnipropetrovsk governor said Russia was trying to destroy the region's power grid. At least 21 people were killed in Mozambique due to the unrest. That followed the top court's announcement confirming the victory of governing Frelimo party. The country's interior minister said a total of 236 acts of serious violence were reported since Monday that wounded at least 25 people, including 13 police officers. The unrest follows the disputed election in October, which opposition claims was rigged. 5 soldiers were killed after an army vehicle fell into a 350 feet deep gorge in the Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. 5 other soldiers sustained injuries. The vehicle was travelling from Neelam headquarters to Baloni Gora post. The Indian Army has dismissed any terrorist activity in the incident. India is celebrating the Good Governance Day on the 100th anniversary of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. This day honours his vision of transparent and accountable governance. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Draupadi Murmu also paid floral tribute to the former Prime Minister at the Sadadev Atal Memorial in capital New Delhi. South Korea's impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol did not respond to a second summons by anti-corruption authorities. He was asked to appear today before the Corruption Investigation Office. Impeached leader has been accused of treason over his decision to briefly declare martial law in the country. Yoon had also ignored probe officials' first summons last week. In climate news, heavy snow and strong winds have left tens of thousands of homes in Bosnia without electricity and created widespread traffic disruptions across the Balkans. Authorities in Bosnia, Serbia and Croatia issued travel warnings. Railway traffic in parts of Bosnia came to a standstill due to the extreme weather. French officials have confirmed 39 deaths in Mayotte following a cyclone Chido. The cyclone has exacerbated long-standing issues in Mayotte, including delays in aid and clean water shortages, hence sparking anger among residents of France's poorest territory located between Madagascar and Mozambique. Severe floods in Haiti's northern port of Port-au-Paix have left at least 7 people dead. Nearly 500 homes were destroyed and 11,000 buildings in the city's central area were flooded. Regional Red Cross coordinator described the devastation as the worst he has witnessed in the region. In response, police deployed cleaning crews to remove mud from the streets and mobilized volunteer rescue teams to assist with recovery efforts. According to a study, the average Briton generates 513 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions on Christmas Day. This is 23 times higher than their daily average of 22 kilograms of CO2. This spike stems from travel, decorations, food and especially gift giving, which accounts for 93% of emissions. Electronics alone contribute nearly half of the emissions linked to Christmas presents. A thick layer of fog blanketed parts of India's capital New Delhi today. Citizens experienced reduced visibility and travel disruptions. The India Meteorological Department reported a minimum temperature of 8.4 degrees Celsius. Passengers were advised to check with airlines for updated flight information as the foggy conditions continue to impact travel plans in the region. Japan's environment and industry ministers have finalized a plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60% by 2035, hence advancing beyond its 2030 goal of a 46% reduction. Japan also aims for a 73% reduction by 2040, keeping on track towards achieving net zero emissions by 2050. On to business and tech news now. Wall Street's main indexes closed higher on Christmas Eve yesterday. Nasdaq Composite scored 4 straight sessions of gains, while S&P 500 took its winning streak to 3 sessions. The market high marked the first day of seasonal Christmas rally. Major banks and businesses sued the U.S. Federal Reserve, stating that its annual stress tests for the Wall Street firms violate the law. The lawsuit has been filed in U.S. District Court of Ohio. It states that the central bank's test to determine capital requirements does not follow administrative procedure. U.S. automakers Ford Motors and General Motors are going to donate $1 million each for U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's January inauguration. The companies will also give vehicles during the ceremony. The global production of Toyota Motors has gone down. The decrease that happened for the 10th straight month comes despite the growth in its sales for the second consecutive month. The Japanese car maker witnessed a 6.2% fall in its production from the last month. Japan's government is reportedly set to draft a $734 billion budget for the fiscal year starting from April. The record budget is the result of Bank of Japan's shift away from its stimulus program. The policy change means the Japan government can no longer rely on ultra-low borrowing costs. Taiwan has blocked a deal between Uber Technologies and delivery heroes Foodpanda. Uber's $950 million purchase was banned over anti-competition concerns. The deal was reported by Taiwan's central news agency. China's electric vehicle producer BYD faces grave charges in Brazil. The firm is accused of keeping 163 Chinese nationals in slavery-like conditions. Brazil's local labor prosecutor's office said that these workers working at a factory construction site were kept in degrading conditions. These workers were allegedly hired by another firm in China and brought to Brazil irregularly. Chinese EV battery maker CATL has launched new EV chassis. The firm says their new launch can withstand 120 km/h frontal impact. CATL is touting the safety provided their product as its key selling point. China's Woxi Aptech is selling its cell and gene therapy manufacturing unit Woxi Advanced Therapies. The Chinese company said that it has signed a deal with US-based private equity firm Alteris LLC. The company faces a scrutiny from its new US laws that restrict businesses in the country, citing security concerns. American Airlines has resumed its flights after briefly grounding them. A technical glitch forced the carrier's hour-long ground stop yesterday. The glitch disrupted travel for thousands on Christmas Eve. Moving to sports, and we start with cricket. The International Cricket Council has unveiled fixtures for the 2025 Champions Trophy. The 15-match tournament is scheduled from 19th February to 9th March. The tournament will be played in Pakistan and Dubai using a hybrid model. India has been placed in Group A with Pakistan, Bangladesh and New Zealand. India will play all the ICC Champions Trophy 2025 matches in Dubai. This is due to India's ongoing political tensions with Pakistan. India has refused to travel to the country due to security concerns. The men in blue will face Bangladesh in their tournament opener on February 20th. They will next face Pakistan on February 23rd. The fourth Border Gavaskar Test is set to take place on Boxing Day at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The series is currently tied at 1-all. Sam Constas, at 19-year-old, will make his Test debut for Australia. He will be replacing Nathan McSweeney. Meanwhile, Travis Head has been deemed fit for the fourth Test. India beat West Indies by 115 runs in the second of their three-match women's ODI. Captain Harmanpreet Kaur opted to bat first. India posted an impressive 358 runs for 5 wickets in the first innings. Harleen Deol's century was key to India's victory. In reply, West Indies were bowled out for 243 runs in 46.2 overs. In football, Manchester United is experiencing a mice infestation at the iconic Old Trafford Stadium. This has led to a reduction in its food hygiene rating. Its rating dropped to 2 stars as a result. The infestation is likely due to the stadium's location between a canal and a railway. Brazilian midfielder Oscar will join his boyhood club Sao Paulo. He has signed a 3-year contract with the club until 2027. Oscar began his career in 2008. His signing with the Chinese football club Shanghai Port in 2017 was one of the most lucrative ones world football had ever witnessed. 5 men were sentenced for violent attacks during an Europa League match between Ajax and Maccabi Tel Aviv in Amsterdam last month. They have been given a jail sentence of up to 6 months. The incident involved pro-Palestinian demonstrators targeting Israeli football fans. 5 people were hospitalized and several others suffered minor injuries. Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker of India has broken her silence on the Khel Ratna Award controversy. She acknowledged a potential lapse in her nomination process. Bhaker's name was not listed in the nomination of Khel Ratna when it came out. Her father had expressed disappointment over the same. Swiss Olympic snowboarder Sophie Hedger died at the age of 26. She was killed in an avalanche while skiing with her companion. Hedger represented Switzerland in the 2022 Winter Olympics in China. The Swiss Boarding Federation has expressed condolences. And summing it up with news from basketball, LeBron James and Steph Curry failed to take their teams to wins before Christmas. Despite James scoring 28 points, LA Lakers narrowly lost to Detroit Pistons 114 to 117. Meanwhile, Curry had a poor outing as he scored 10 points and Golden State Warriors 105 to 111 loss to Indiana Pacers. And finally, to the world of showbiz. Meanwhile, UFC champion Jon Jones is all set to star in the Hollywood film Edo's Crossing. It is a short film about a Navy SEAL and his furry companion on field. Joe shared the glimpses of his look on his social media profile. He has previously featured in a Netflix series titled LA Cage. Singer Ariana Grande began her Christmas celebrations this year by visiting a hospital in Manchester. She donated Christmas presents to the children patients in the hospital. The singer has been regularly visiting this hospital since 2017. The hospital expressed their gratitude online via a social media post. It ends with us. Director Justin Baldoni has been sued by his former publicist Steph Jones, has accused of director of breaching their signed contract. Jones alleges that Baldoni failed to pay her $25,000 monthly. This comes after actor Blake Lively filed legal complaints against him, accusing Baldoni of sexual harassment. The dismissal of criminal charges against Alec Baldwin in the fatal shooting of cinematographer Halyana Hutchins has cleared the way for a civil lawsuit to move forward. During a Los Angeles press conference, victims' rights attorney representing Hutchins' family expressed disappointment that prosecutors will not appeal the dismissal of the involuntary manslaughter charge. Timothée Chalamet, known for his diverse role, and revealed an unexpected choice for a future biopic role, Ernie Johnson. The longtime host of Inside the NBA, he surprised his fans by naming the 68-year-old broadcaster as someone he'd like to play. Johnson is also known for his calm demeanor, colorful bow ties, and extensive sports broadcasting career. Actor Adrien Brody says that his physical transformation for the pianist left him with eating disorder and PTSD. Brody played the role of a Holocaust survivor in the 2002's biographical film. He barely got to drink water when the filming began. However, it all paid off when he won an Oscar award for his performance. James Gunn, the CEO of DC Studios, has revealed interesting details about the finale of Creature Commandos Season 1. He posted on social media that the season finale will have post-credit scenes. Now, this is not clear what those scenes will reveal. The series started streaming from 5th of December. Netflix is all set to stream the final episodes of Cobra Kai. They will debut on the 13th of February next year. The trailer of 6 seasons Part 3 teases that the 4 decades of the history has led to this moment. The first installment of Cobra Kai Season 6 debuted in July 2024. Disney's Moana 2 has surpassed $800 million at the global box office. The top performing markets for Moana 2 include France with $47.9 million, the UK with $38.6 million, and Germany with $29.8 million. The sequel has also surpassed Despicable Me 4 and Dune Part 2's businesses. And finally, actor John Reardon revealed that he was diagnosed with tonsil cancer. He posted pictures of him on social media in a hospital. The actor stated that last night was his first night out after his recovery from cancer. He wrote that it was a long way to recovery. That's all for today. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost.